This video was made possible thanks to our wonderful sponsor Unbound Nation. They are a gaming DAO. They focus on play and earn games. They're currently in Axie Infinity and Peg Axie. They're looking to expand into games like Splinterlands. So if you're looking for a scholarship or a gaming opportunity, join the link in the description below. Okay. We are in Rising Star, a different NFT game. That said, it is also on the Hive blockchain, so if you own a Splinterlands account, which most of you do, you can very easily come try this game out for free. It is completely free to play. I do recommend investing a little bit into it, and when I say a little bit, I mean $5 to $10, just to help get you started and just buy the crucial things, which I'm going to show you now. So basically, I've been playing this game for 2 weeks now. So I know a little bit about it. I've spoken to a lot of people about it. I actually never wanted to start this game because I typically don't like a game that isn't very playable and is just a clicking game, something along the lines of Alien Worlds. I try to avoid these type of games, but too many of my subscribers were talking about it in the Discord and I just needed to try it out. And I'm so glad you guys brought me in on it. I've really been enjoying it, and I've actually just been enjoying the grind, to be honest. That said, I've made so many mistakes in my Rising Star journey, which is quite nice, actually. Like, I haven't felt this way in a long time. It's quite nice to learn through, like, fire and hardcore trial and error. So I am just building this video to help anyone that wants to start this game, especially if you're in the Splinterlands community. If you want to start this game, I am helping you by sharing all the tricks and tips I know of this game. I am still a beginner myself. I've only been in this game for 2 weeks, but I can definitely tell you a more optimal and a better way to start this game than to do what I've done. To start with, I think the number one thing is just start the game. I think just by starting the game, even if you don't buy anything, you can just start earning levels for free. You might not have as many fans if you don't invest in the game. You might not have as much luck. You might not have as much skill. But what you will have is you will then just start the game. So what happens is, unless you invest heavily, and it's a lot of money to invest in experience boosters, just by playing the game, the amount of XP you earn doesn't change based on the amount of fans you have, the amount of luck you have, the amount of skill you have. So all of my 470 cards, unless I buy experience boosters, none of my, which I don't own, but none of my cards help improve the amount of XP I earn. So just by starting this game, you will then start earning experience to then start progressing to higher levels. And levels are very important because your levels allow you to earn new missions and eventually new regions on the map, and then also music lessons and a whole bunch of other stuff. So you do need your levels, and that is very important. So once you've started this game, there are some cards that I recommend everyone purchase. So the most important cards is one, a pizza box. So when you start this game, you can find something which is known as a pizza slice, and what a pizza slice does is it restores your energy. So every day you play this game, you'll start at 100 energy, and then you'll spend it, so 15%, you'll spend 15 energy, it takes 5 minutes, and then you earn 1 to 270 star bits. You will also then earn 10 experience. So the amount of fans you have impacts the amount of star bits you'll have. So I think when you start this game, it might be 1 to 10, and then because I own a lot more cards, it's 1 to 270. But you'll have a 20% chance, I think it is, to find a pizza slice. And what a pizza slice does is it fully replenishes your energy. It pushes it all back to 100%. But if you don't own a pizza box, you can't choose when to use it. So in fact, I own 2, but without a pizza box, you automatically eat it. So if you start your day at 100%, you do a 15 energy mission, you will then go down to 85 energy, and you find your pizza slice. Because you don't have a pizza box, you will then eat your pizza slice and then you'll be back at 100%, but that pizza box essentially only gave you back 15 energy, where if you have a pizza box, you can then store that pizza slice, go down to 0%, then eat your pizza slice, and then have another 100% to use. Just for record, pizza box is 7,500 star bits at the time of recording, I believe. The other thing that you should definitely buy, and this is actually one of my greatest mistakes, is that I didn't buy this until yesterday. So it took me like 10 days of playing this game to realize and to learn how important a pizza slice is. So what the pizza slice card is, it's the exact same as a pizza slice that you find in the game. The only difference is every 24 hours you can then reuse it. So you'll see that mine will be ready in 11 minutes. So once my energy goes down to 0%, I can then eat a pizza slice and then it'll go back to 100% and I can keep on doing missions and keep on leveling my character. So the reason I didn't buy it for the first 10 days is I thought this card was the same as a pizza slice that you found on the ground, and this costs 10,000 star bits. So I didn't want to spend 10,000 star bits on a once off back to 100%. I thought maybe at a higher level it would make sense to do that because you'll earn more star bits. But to me it was madness. I couldn't do it. And then somebody from the community just told me, no, it doesn't work that way. You pay 10,000 and then just every day you've got it. You can use it once on a 24-hour cooldown. So these two cards are single-handedly the best cards to purchase. In addition, you might want to just buy yourself one rare musician, and just because a rare musician on average will have 50 to 150 fans, and you'll see that as you progress through the game, you'll start with 10 fans, but eventually you'll need 25 fans and then 50 fans. So by having just a level like one rare musician, so in this case you can see I've got Romney, I have 100 fans, so therefore you can then comfortably get to this stage of the game without having to buy more cards or to wait until you have enough temporary drunk fans to do the mission. Another mistake I made is so there's something in this game called ego. So eventually your musicians start thinking that they're better because as they accumulate more fans, they start developing an ego, and then the more missions you do, the higher your ego gets, and then you get a ego bar. So if your ego is too high, and let's say you've got 100% ego, you earn 0 cash on all of your missions. So it's up to you to keep your musician in check and keep your ego down. And the way you do that is you have to get skill. And the way you get skill is you do music lessons. So basically to humble your artist is as you get more and more fans, you've got to humble yourself by going back to school and realizing how little you actually know of your instrument. The main issue is that the first music lessons you unlock are only at level 10, so you've got to grind your way to level 10 before you can start earning from music lessons. However, your ego will either come, so you'll see here it says ego will only take effects once you have 1,000 fans, drunk or permanent, or you reach level 15. So if you invest, so what I did is I was very stupid. I came into this game, a lot of my subscribers had already started playing, so I was like, okay, I'm going to buy some packs, I'm going to catch up. And the problem is, at level 1, I had over 1,000 fans. So the biggest problem with that is that I already had an ego from level 1, and then just by playing the game, my ego kept going up, and I didn't have a way to reduce it via music lessons. So if you do this, it's not the end of the world. It's not too bad to buy cards because you can also then earn a little bit more star bits. So what I did is, and what you guys should do is, you'll go to your collection, and all you do is you list your cards. So if your rare musician is typically sells for 6,000 star bits, just list it for 12,000. No one's going to buy it. And if they do, then you made good profit. But basically you list it on the market, and because it's not in your inventory anymore, it will then be reduced from your total amount of fans, and then your ego will disappear. So basically my advice is hide your ego and don't even start developing an ego until you get to level 10, if not level 15. You don't have to worry about it that way. But once you do get to level 10, you unlock music lessons. So this is really important because one, it gives you a lot of XP considering how little energy you spend. So it's got a really good ratio. And then the other thing you need to learn, and this is where I made another really big mistake. I made a few of those. But the other big mistake I made was that I didn't realize how skill was rewarded. So you'll see at level 10, you unlock singing as well as guitar. And what you'll see here is that if I do a guitar mission, even though it will give me the same amount of XP and it has the same requirements, I only earn 29 to 58 skill per mission, where for my singing, I earn 150 to 300. So why is it that I'm earning nearly 6 times more skill doing a singing lesson than a guitar, even though my luck is 7,300? And that reason is that different cards and different instruments impact different lessons. So I made a few mistakes in this regard, but the one thing is I didn't know that. So I was just buying a lot of the different, you'll see here, if I go to my instrument collections, I bought a lot of different instruments. So I bought guitars, I bought drums, I bought microphones, I bought an accordion. I bought cheap congas. I bought a lot of different things. But eventually I spoke to some of my subscribers and they were like, no, you can stack cards, and that's probably the best method, is that you stack your cards to improve. So then what I did is I stacked an OmniStar, which is a recording tool. So I bought 14 of them because I thought they were really cheap, so I bought them. I also then eventually, once I realized, ooh, I made a mistake. So the mistake I made there was that I was buying production tools, but I couldn't use them because I wasn't level 30 yet. So then what I started doing was I was like, okay, so it's either guitar or singing. I realized that most of the singing microphone cards were cheaper than some of the guitar cards. So I started stocking up on microphones, and then I started buying a vintage mic, and I owned 42 of them. So I bought a whole bunch of vintage mics because that just seemed like the smart move in order to earn as much skill as possible. And that's what you guys should do. So in order to, I think if you're going to put money into this game, when you start the game, you buy yourself a pizza slice and a pizza box. You can buy multiple pizza slices. I got 5 because I'm playing a lot now. Buy 1 or 2 artists just to make sure that you have enough fans to do some of your missions. And then once you get to level 10, buy majority of one type of lesson. So when you first start, it's either going to be guitar or singing. But if you want to wait because, I don't know, production is where your heart's at, or piano, you can then just wait till you're level 25 and then start farming piano with piano cards. If you go to the frequently asked questions, you'll basically see which cards or which instrument cards impact and improve which lessons. So if you farm in singing like I am, you'll focus on these microphones. If you do guitar, there's all of these guitars. Drums, there's these drums. So the frequently asked questions is a really good place to go to. Another mistake I made, which I'm hoping you guys shouldn't do, is I bought a coffee cup. I don't recommend buying one. It's not as important as you think. What coffee does is it just increases the amount of energy. It increases your energy recovery rate for 1 hour, and you won't notice it as much. It might go up maybe 2 or 3% extra for that hour, but you don't need to have a coffee cup to store your coffee. It's better to just, as you play the game, it'll go, ooh, coffee, and then you'll just play it out, and that's fine. The biggest thing that I made as a mistake when I started this game is I didn't join the Discord community. I highly recommend you do. It's right there. You can literally just click the Discord community. I think just similar to Splinterlands, it has a amazing community. This game has been around for over 2 years, so it's not new, but it's definitely worth checking out. And the Discord community is super young, not young, super helpful, and they're really great bunch of guys and girls. And then the other thing is that there are different strategies and different play styles. So this is just me sharing what I would recommend to a new player and just sharing the mistakes I made starting out. There are people that like to collect everything, so they want to have a whole bunch of different variety, so they want to collect all the different cards, and that's what brings them enjoyment. There are other people that buy packs. There's others that recommend buying singles. There's people that just play this game as traders. They just buy the cards and trade the cards, and that's also fine. So there's many different ways to make money. I wouldn't worry about maximizing your potential. I'm just sharing some mistakes that I hope you guys avoid when you start this game.